Is this absolutely sick? Story time. My grandfather paid me to pleasure his girlfriend. Before we get started, I want to tell everybody absolutely.
Now that's diabolical. That alone, that title is crazy, bro. Like, wow. We're gonna get into this thing, man. This is a dusty one for sure. Hey, make sure y'all grab y'all some water or whatever it is y'all doing. Y'all watch my videos. Come and rock with your boy. You feel what I'm saying? Let's get to it.
Thank you. Thank you so much for giving me the 20,000 followers. Just a month ago, I was only at 4,000. So thank you for your continued support. If you're not following me, please go follow me. I'm the best storyteller on TikTok, hands down. Now, let's get into the story. So this story was submitted in by one of my followers, and he says, please don't tell his name.
Wait, he say the best storyteller on TikTok. How can you be the best storyteller? Like, I don't think that it's possible to be the best storyteller because you have so many storytellers and so many different people have, their favorites. And you may think you're a good storyteller, but one person over here may think you trash, but another person over here may think you good. I feel like to say you the best in such a vast field like that, I think that's an ignorant statement. Just saying,
He said not so much for his embarrassment, but for his grandfather. Now, I will tell you that this story did take place in Savannah, Georgia. So the young man said he always grew up very close to his grandfather. He spent summers with him. And when his grandfather got older, he actually moved closer to where him and his family stayed at. Said his grandmother had passed away years ago, so his grandfather did date, off and on, but not that much. Now, at this point in his life, his granddad was 72 years old, and he actually got in a relationship with someone, but this lady was only 55. He said he felt like the lady was using his grandfather, but, he couldn't prove it. Despite all that, he said this was a very nice woman, and she was very attractive to be 55 years old. Now, I have to tell you, the young man in the story was only 27 years old. He said his granddad and his girlfriend would often come over to their house.
Wait, hold on. Can you just wait? Imagine 27 years old. Your grandfather call you like, hey, I need a favor. I need you to, clap up my need you to clap up my girlfriend. That is diabolically insane. Crazy. Like, what? Is this what you calling me for? Like, could you imagine that conversation?
Eat dinner and, they'd have cookouts and, things that families normally do. So his whole family was a little uneasy by these people being about 20 years apart, but, they're both relatively old, so. He said he would go over his granddad's house and the girlfriend would be there and they would all make conversation and they all got along pretty fine. He said, but a lot of times he would catch her staring at him or looking at him in what he thought was a seductive way, but he kind of just brushed it off because he's like, this woman is old enough to be my mom. Plus, he didn't think she would ever try to snake his granddad and try to talk to him or anything like that. So he never even, thought too much about it. He said one day though his granddad called his phone and asked him, hey, could you come over? I got some errands I need you to run for me. When you get a chance, come by. He said he went by and his granddad was sitting out on the porch and he said, hey, I want to talk to you. He said, I've been in a relationship with this, lady for a while now and, I need you to do me a favor. His granddad said, now, I've been talking to this young lady for a while and I need you to do me a favor. He said, what's that? He said, I need you to F her for me. Please her for me. He said his granddad always told jokes and he thought this was a joke, but his granddaddy had a very firm face. He said, I'm 72. I can't do nothing for her, and it's starting to become a problem in the relationship. He said, I told her, I don't mind you being in relations with other people, just let me know. And she said, okay, well, I want your grandson. He said that he told him, absolutely not, my grandson's off limits. And she said, why? Me and you've never done anything together. You can't.
Hold on. 72 ain't that old though. 72 old, but I think you should still, if you've been taking care of yourself, you should still at 72 be able to, put it down. That's how I'm gonna be. You feel me? Because I do take care of myself. That's why I be telling y'all, drink y'all waters. If y'all want to be putting it down to 72, y'all better drink water, straight up. But yeah, I think I'm going to be one of them ones when I'm 72. I'll still be basically young. You feel me? I'll probably, oh, dang, he's 72. He look like he's 40, 45.
Can't do anything. It's like, so why not? It's the closest thing to having you. Now, this gentleman said he told his granddad, absolutely no, I'm not doing it. But then his granddaddy told him, I'll pay you $1,000 if you do it. He said his whole perspective changed. Once again, this woman was attracted to be 55, and two, he could use the $1,000. He said, how many times are you looking for me to do this? He said, one time, just one time. He agreed. He said, when? He said, now. He said, she's in the house. Let's do it now. He said, so he went inside and the lady was laying in the bed, unclothed, like they were prepared for this to take place. He said he went in. It was very awkward. They didn't even talk. He said he just began touching her. He said what he didn't expect was his granddaddy to be in the room the whole time.
Oh, what?
He said his granddaddy was in the room.
Oh, no. No, bro. I'm like, if you think about it, it ain't that crazy because, like, let's say you can look at it as if, you know, the granddaddy just, hey, put him on. He put him on something. That's how you can look at it. You feel me? But when he asks him to come in the room, now it gets weird. If it was just like, hey, just go smack her real quick, it didn't be like, oh, I'm just smacking the chick my granddad brought. You feel me? That's young. It's weird, but what makes it less weird, it would have been less weird if you wasn't in the room. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, that's crazy.
And actually talking her through what was going on. He said the granddad would say, yeah, do you like that? Do you like the way that feels? Turn over like this for me. I want to see you do this. I want to see you do that. He said he could not get brick. He could not get a wreck with his granddaddy in the room. He couldn't. He said his granddaddy walked out of the room, came back and gave him a Viagra pill and told him, take 30 minutes and come back in. He said he took the pill. It worked. He said he went in and with no trouble, he did what he had to do. He said it was upon their request that he did not wear a condom. He said that he actually really enjoyed this experience, and it was the first time he'd ever been with an older woman. And she really enjoyed it. So much that even afterwards, she was kissing him in the mouth. Now, the grandfather had an issue with that because that was one of the rules. No kissing. That's too intimate, too personal. Too intimate? Okay. He said the very next day, his grandfather called him over again and said, hey, I'll give you another 1,000 if you do it again. So he said he did it again. He said this went on for months. And every time he did it, he got paid $1,000. Well, he said the lady and his grandfather eventually split up because she said she had no desire to be with him anymore. He wasn't pleasing her. What she was getting from another man, that she just had no desire to be with him anymore. He said so, at that point, there was no more business between the three of them. He said, but one day he received a message on Instagram, and it was the lady. She was telling him how she missed it and she wanted it. Could he please come over to her house and she would pay him as well? He said he went over to her house. She could not pay him the $1,000, but she did give him $400. He said, but it got to the point that they were doing it so frequent, so much that he told her, don't even pay me. He then, in fact, moved in with this lady and began to be in a relationship with her. And to this day, he's in a relationship with this lady. His grandfather does not know. She doesn't come around family. They don't.
Wait, hold on. She must have had Super Soaker 20,000. You hear me? Because, or whatever else. You feel me? Because why would a 27-year-old say, I'm finna settle down with a 55-year-old? But that ain't even the craziest thing. Why would a 27-year-old say, you ain't got to pay me no more to clap? That's crazy. But it was getting paid to clap cheeks. You hear me? And you gonna say, You ain't got to pay me no more. We doing this so much. I'm making so much money, Clemens. You ain't got. That's crazy, man. This story, man. Wow.
Really go out in public in their town. They go out of town to do things, but he says he loves this lady and he feels terrible, but his grandfather kind of pushed him to it. He's asking me for advice what he should do, and I told him I don't know, because I'd never be in that situation to start. You guys let me know in the comments. Do you think he should come clean with his family and his grandfather and let him know that he's in a relationship with this woman now? Or should he take this to the grave? If you enjoy stories like this, make sure you like, comment, and share. And please follow.
Alright, man. Bro, like, it don't even matter. This everything is so weird already, so why wouldn't you go and tell your grandfather? It ain't like y'all ain't already exceeded the limits of going too far. You done already exceeded that limit, so anything you do is below that. So yeah, go ahead and tell your grandfather that you're in a relationship with or not. You feel me? I mean, he called you to go and clap. That's weird as it is already. You hear me? Yeah, man, that's crazy. But you could say that the granddad match made them, right? He was the matchmaker. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. But hey, tell me what y'all think about the video in the comments, man. See you guys next video. Always remember, be safe out here, kings and queens. Let's get it.